Hi, welcome to Advanced English with Steve. With me, Steve Ellis. Now, are you ready to do a collocation quiz? Collocations are vitally important if you want to be fluent in English. You probably think of collocations as pairs of words, but they're much more than that. They can be full expressions as well, sometimes very similar to idioms. The terminology varies. Some would regard some collocations as idioms, others not. Whatever we call them, they are absolutely essential. They're essential for you to know, especially at C1 level. Knowing them will make a conversation sound so much more natural, more like a native speaker. Okay, so in this quiz, you have 20 of them, and you have 30 seconds for each one to choose the right answer. And then after you've gone through the quiz, I'll give you the answers. So let's go. All these collocations are to do with talking. Remember, you have 30 seconds to complete each quiz. The answers are at the end. I'm finding it hard the energy to do anything these days. Raise, summon, turn, or lift. My mother can't get used to well-dressed young people using language. Hard, slang, strong, or tough. I think it's time the subject of getting married with our parents. Sounded, expounded, introduced, broached. He didn't go into detail about his ideas. He just made generalizations. Wide, broad, useful, or round. I was so ill last week, I could barely a conversation. Hold, endure, stand, or involve. No one will your ideas seriously unless you present them more effectively. Take, accept, adopt, or hold. Whenever I try to up the subject of living in the countryside, he leaves the room. Raise, take, bring, or speak. For heaven's sake, that's enough. Just the subject. Stop, throw, lose, or drop. Did you hear the rumour around Tom and Amanda are having an affair? Sailing, whizzing, flying, or darting? At the interview, they me with questions about my previous jobs. Bombarded, harassed, fired, or quizzed. Don't make any promises. Think before you agree to anything. Rushed, flash, rash, or quick. His opening was to ask me about what I knew about the company. Gambit, subject, foray, statement. You shouldn't believe a word she says. She's full of promises. Empty, broken, false, or lost. We didn't discuss anything serious. It was just chatter. Idle, simple, lazy, or empty. So as not to offend him, I tried not to my case for leaving and just put things as simply as I could. Overdo, understate, overstate, underdo. Just to warn you, he's difficult to deal with. Don't let yourself be into an argument, led, thrust, brought, or drawn. She seems to know everyone's business. She's always spreading some gossip. Tasty, juicy, dirty, or delicious. She's very reserved. I've tried many times to her in conversation, but it's very hard. She was sobbing and her heart out to me about what had happened. Revealed, exposed, opened, showed. No, I don't really know him at all. We've only ever pleasantries, given, exchanged, offered, or thrown. So, how do you think you did? Well, we're going to look at the answers. Oh, by the way, all those collocations came from Cambridge Advanced Collocations. I'm finding it hard to summon up the energy to do anything these days. To summon up. My mother can't get used to well-dressed young people using strong language. That's swearing, strong language. I think it's time we broach the subject of getting married with our parents. To broach is to introduce a difficult subject. He didn't go into details about his ideas, he just made broad generalizations. Wide also means broad, but wide generalizations is not a collocation. I was so ill last week, I could barely hold a conversation. We hold a conversation. No one will take your ideas seriously unless you present them more effectively. I think that's quite an easy one to take seriously. Whenever I try to bring up the subject of living in the countryside, he leaves the room. For heaven's sake, that's enough. Just drop the subject. Did you hear the rumour flying around that Tom and Amanda are having an affair? I hope Tom's wife hasn't heard it. At the interview, they bombarded me with questions about my previous jobs. Don't make any rash promises. Think before you agree to anything. His opening gambit was to ask me about what I knew about the company. An opening gambit is to start a conversation. You also find gambit in chess, the Queen's Gambit, an opening move. You shouldn't believe a word she says. She's full of empty promises. We didn't discuss anything serious. It was just idle chatter. Lazy means the same as idle, but the collocation is idle chatter. So as not to offend him, I tried not to overstate my case for leaving and just put things as simply as I could. Just to warn you, he's difficult to deal with. Don't let yourself be drawn into an argument. She seems to know everyone's business. She's always spreading some juicy gossip. Of course, the juicy gossip could also be dirty gossip. But the collocation is juicy gossip. She's very reserved. I've tried many times to engage her in conversation, but it's very hard. For it to be involved, it would include other people in the conversation. She was sobbing and opened her heart to me about what had happened. To open your heart to someone. No, I don't really know him at all. We've only ever exchanged pleasantries. So, how did he do? Okay? Not so well? If you found them a struggle, then one of the best ways of learning them is to come along to our Chatterbox Zoom workshops. We have 3 workshops, 3 lessons per week. Each usually lasts about 2 hours. You talk to other learners, as well as talk to me, of course. So there's lots of conversation. We cover collocations, idioms, phrasal verbs, expressions, a lot. The workshops are very rewarding. They're great fun. We have a laugh along the way as well. If you come to every workshop, that's 3 times a week, that means you'd be doing 24 hours in a month, because as I say, they last about 2 hours. So come along, see how you get on. They're at C1, C2 level, so if you're upper intermediate, B2, they'll suit you just fine. They'll help you to achieve advanced level. They're not expensive. They cost you £15 per month. Now, considering that you have 6 hours per week, if you attend every session, you get 6 hours per week of involvement, of participation. That's pretty good value. 6 hours a week is working out at 24 hours per month. So really, it's about £1 per session. That's something which I don't think that you could beat. Okay, you'll find details in the description. Go and have a look and come along. I hope to see you there. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And please leave any comments, ask any questions about what we've done in this video. Okay, hope to see you soon. Bye for now.